Hello everyone, my name is Davin, and on today's video, I will tell you about why is Valorant the most toxic game in the world. Valorant itself is a 5 versus 5 first-person shooting game that was developed by Riot Game Company. Some people compare Valorant to CSGO or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, as both have the same kind of gameplays. The game gained a high popularity with 12 million active players monthly. But despite the popularity, Valorant is considered to be the most toxic game in the world. The toxicity of Valorant itself is not just an expression, but it is actually based on a survey. In this chart, we can see that Valorant ranked the highest on the toxicity of a game. Valorant themselves do actually try to tackle on this problem, and recently they launched a list of penalties for players who are toxic in game. Based on the data from Riot, there are over 400,000 players that receive communication restriction for players who are toxic, with 50,000 others getting banned from the game temporarily. That is a very high number, right? But this is not enough, as Valorant is still on the number one list with the game that have the most toxic players in the world, at least based on survey last year. Not only that, even with the system that is launched by Riot, it still have so many flaws within themselves. This player, for example, is getting banned from the game for defending against toxic players who made comment about suicidal jokes. This proves that the system is not effective at all. Based on my personal observation, people also still don't hesitate to make toxic comments in game despite the penalties that can happen to them. This one is by saying "is", which is a commonly used insult after you win a game, implying that the enemy is bad at gaming. I also encountered this one saying "div", which is also insult used in circumstance where the enemy use the same character as the one that we use, but they play worse than us. Maybe if we use this character named Jet and we have 20 kills while the enemy have only like 3 kills, by saying div we are implying that we play better than them. After all, I personally think that Riot as the developer needs to work on this issue more. Then, what is the main factors behind the toxicity of Valorant? There are several reasons based on my personal thought. The first one is the fact that Valorant is a highly competitive game. In a game like that, people are trying their best to be the best and win the game. Not only that we want to win the game, but we want to score higher than our own teammates and the enemies. This means that the tension of players are really high, causing them to be able to snap at the slightest things. Other than that, based on my theory that I developed in one of my journal, it is proven that some people develop an arrogant character, especially if they perform better than the rest of other players. This arrogancy is also what contributes towards the factor of being toxic, as when we are under pressure and we want to be better, we want to push ourselves towards the others. When being inside a game, with all of the tension and everything, especially the objective to win, some people forget that there are an actual human being behind every of the characters that are getting played. They tend to throw mean comments and ignore the fact that players do also have feelings. Some comments are not even related to the game and just a pure opportunity for them to sprout out hate speech. Based on the survey before, most hate speech found in the game are related to hate against other race, religion, and gender, especially the one who are in the minorities. N-word, for example, is one of the most spoken hate words in the game, followed by gender-based insult against women and the LGBT community. Some people also tend to use a provocative username, for example this one, as in this game, it is possible to change our username occasionally. All of this is supported by the fact that Riot's solution to tackle this issue is very ineffective, as even if players are getting restrictions and penalties, all of the penalties that they get is only lasts for a short period of time, or they can even avoid it by using other account, as it is very easy to make a new account, implying that this game is a free game. Overall, I think it is hard to change the fact that this community can be a toxic free community without the work of the developer themselves to resolve the issue and within the players and the community itself. That's all my thought. Thanks for watching and see you next time.